everyone. This is Anoth, and today I want to talk about Fragile X syndrome in speech, or autism in speech. Jordan is 27 years old, and as of today, he's able to speak with me in a full sentence, or if he's in public, he's able to use simple words to order off a menu or tell someone what it is that he needs. It has been a long journey to get to this point, but we still work on it. We still go to speech therapy, and so we're still a work in progress. When he was 2 years old, we were able to go to early childhood intervention. And there, they taught us simple sign language. And we were able to communicate with him through sign language. Once we saw that he was able to communicate, because I know that there are some little guys who are not able to do so. And there's still a lot of different levels of disabilities. So I know that the system that I'm going to talk about today, it may not work for your family, but it may get you started, and it may get you started in asking questions through your school system or through your speech therapist or through your speech pathologist. We started with sign language. Then when he was about three, we started with speech therapy. We were fortunate that through insurance, we were able to go and receive speech therapy twice a week. I had to drag my older son along, and we went twice a week. We did this for a while, and then once school started, I was able to go during school, so my older son didn't have to come with us. But we still did it, and we've been doing it through his entire life. He's 27 years old, and we are still receiving speech therapy, because as they become adults, there are different needs that needs to be addressed, and speech therapy is a big help. The system that I'm going to talk about is called Picture Exchange Communication System. It's a system that was started back in 1985 by Lori Frost and Andrew Bondi. It's a system that for our family, it worked. I was able to go to a workshop that was put out through our school system, to our school district. It was a 2-day workshop, 10-hour workshop. It was 10 hours long. My mother was able to stay with the boys so I could go and learn this system, and I was able to finish it, and I was even able to get a certificate from them. It's a simple system, but there's a lot of information. There's a science behind it, and if you use it with your school and with your teacher, it's a system that can help our little guys start speaking in single words, maybe 2 words, and then hopefully a sentence. So that's all of our goals, because we know that when they're little, and if communication is not there, their way of communicating is through grunting, or throwing a temper tantrum, or screaming, yelling, pulling you. And this is a frustrating way to live. And until they don't get a way of communicating, this is going to keep happening over and over and over again. And with our family, my goal was to be able to take this young man to wherever it is that we went. And PECS was a huge help in our family in doing that. Again, if you work with your school, if you work with your teacher, they will help you. If you get stuck, they can reinforce you with new techniques or different ways so you can get the system going. You start off with symbols, and each picture has the word. And so the beauty of this technique is that you show them the picture in a strip. You tell them you reinforce what it is that they are wanting, and then hopefully they'll start picking up the sound of the word. They can pronounce the word. You can move on to 1 or 2 words, maybe 3 words, and then hopefully a whole sentence. I started out with a lot of plastic folders that I cut up into smaller strips, and then use Velcro and then contact paper. Contact paper was a huge help in our family because Jordan was still putting a lot of stuff in his mouth, and he would chew on the symbols. And so if you want to keep using this system, and if you want to keep switching the symbols, contact paper is a huge help. So that way you don't have to keep going and cutting and pasting and redoing the whole board because he chewed up on the whole board. And believe me, that happened with us many times until I finally came to the idea of using contact paper so I could get them covered and I could use them. So once Jordan was able to use more than 1 word and hopefully 2 words, then I was able to introduce a board that he could choose a movie, or he could choose something to eat, or if he needed help. So once he got used to the strip and then the board, his teachers and I came up with a folder. And this folder went from our family to the school every single day. In the morning, I would put it in the backpack, and then in the afternoon, it would come back home with us, and then we would use it at home. Consistency is the key. The teachers and I would introduce the folder to him so he could choose what it is that he wanted that day, or the teacher could show him what they were working on in the classroom that day, and it would make things a lot easier for the teacher and for him, because then he could go through the folder, pick out what he wanted, and give the teacher the strip, and the teacher would repeat things for him. It's too loud, your ears hurt because somebody's screaming, or just whatever it is that it was, you were using words and they were seeing the picture. And then again, the goal is to get them to see the picture, to use the word, and move on from there. As Jordan got better at using this technique, I introduced a smolder folder that we would use when we were out in public. And if we were going to a fast food restaurant, he could choose what he wanted. McDonald's or Burger King or wherever it is that you and your family go. That way he could choose for himself. He had an option. And this gave him a little bit of a power within himself that I'm choosing for myself. I'm choosing where I want my family to go. And he was able to choose for himself, and we could use the strips, and he could tell me, I want to go to Burger King, and we could use this for wherever it was that we were going. And then as he got better, I was able to do different folders, and he could choose, and he could tell me, and we would learn different words. And as he got comfortable, the hope is to get them again to say one word. And as soon as they say that word, you celebrate, and then you move on to other things. We moved on to a folder with programs, kids programs. So he could tell me what program he wanted, and he could use the word and say, Mickey Mouse. I want to watch Mickey Mouse. And then we could use different animals. Our family was a big animal lover. So we could use the picture and we could say fox or dog, and he could hear the sound of the word. And then hopefully it would click. And then he could use a different word, something else to build up on his vocabulary folder in his mind. And so he got better. And then as we were going out and we were out in public, I made a smaller folder with different things in here. And if we were stuck somewhere, we could practice on different words, on different phrases. And we could work on emotions. We could work on if he was feeling pain. And I could introduce your head hurts, your elbow hurts, or you want to go to the zoo, or you want to go to the library, so they could get more independence. And you as a family can get more independence. Our goal as parents is to get these guys to be independent so they can make their own decisions and they can be more productive in school, and they can do different lessons, and they can hopefully have friends that they can use the folder with them. Our kindergarten teacher was able to use this folder, and some of his friends would go with Jordan and they would practice using the strips with him. And his teacher would use it as a game. And that way they build up on relationships. It's a system, it's a communication system. There's other systems out there. Sign language, maybe you can choose part of PECS, part of sign language, something that you learn from speech therapy, and you can integrate them together and help your daughter or son. What works for one family may not work for this family. The beauty is that with this system, you can use everything or you can use just one picture. And that one picture may be the key to get them to start using words or communicating in a different way. And they can start learning and thinking, I can speak instead of screaming or yelling. And it would be an easier way for them to learn different things. As time went on and this system was successful in many lessons, I was able to use this for party training. But that's a video that I'll put out in the future. I'm not going to talk about that right now because that's long. And I just want to introduce this communication system to you guys. Again, there's different levels of disability. We as parents can only do what we can. Don't feel guilty if this system doesn't work for you. You can work with another system. You can try a Dynavox. You can try different things. Work with your teachers. They will help you. Use your speech therapist. Use your teachers. Use your school. They are there to help you. I know that this can be frustrating. There are many tears. There is a lot of anger sometimes. But don't give up. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like a failure if one system doesn't work. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Move on to something else. Sometimes in their little minds, they may not be ready for this system. Maybe you can try it a year later, or maybe 2 years later. In the meantime, you can use sign language, or you can use just simple pictures with no words. Just whatever you can get them to communicate, get them to be a little bit independent. You're on the way to help them move on and hopefully learn something else. Jordan, like I said, is 27 years old. There's still a lot that we still have to work on. I'm still pushing him to learn new things. He's still progressing. I know that depending on the disability level, some of our kids reach a certain plateau and that's as far as they're going to go. And that's okay. You can teach something else. You can teach something to their level. At 27 years old, Jordan is still progressing. And so I know that I can still push him to learn more things and different things. I know that he's 27, but we still get our judgment looks. We still get the shaking of the head and the confusion looks. And we still get people who don't want to take the time and talk to you or talk to your child. That still happens to us. And it will probably keep happening. I get my feelings hurt. Sometimes I still cry, but I start up again. It's a new day tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll just keep doing what we can for our kids. There's going to be people that are not going to understand what our battle is. They're not going to understand why we must keep pushing our little guys, why we do certain silly things that to us it's not silly, but to them may look silly. If it works in our family, if it works for our kids, keep doing it. That's our child. We're their advocate, not the public. The public doesn't know our battles and our frustrations and the things that we do to push our kids along. So we just got to keep going and we got to keep working with our guys. If you get frustrated today, just take a breath and then start again tomorrow or maybe the next day. Just don't give up. Just keep working at it. And as time goes on, and if you keep working with your teachers and keep working with professionals, it will help our kids. And it will help get them out in public and be part of society, which is what we want. So just hopefully, I know that it's a lot of information that I gave you today. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please ask them below and I will answer them. Subscribe to my channel. This is a way of letting you know that that I put a new video out there. And it also lets YouTube know that you guys are watching my channel, and then hopefully I'm able to put more videos out there. I'll get better at speaking. I know that sometimes my accent might get in the way, but I'm just out here to maybe give you a little kernel of information and maybe something will click for you and it would help you in a different way. You don't have to do this. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. But if it gives you a little bit of information to help you ask different questions or look for different communication techniques or different behavior techniques, whatever works for your family, more power to you. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.